All right. Now, the LA decision and what we are looking at in terms of the South. Now, as I said, Virginia is really not impacted by Calais because Virginia has control of her General Assembly. It is a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, and all three executive offices are Democratic. What LA has signaled to the other southern states who are all red trifectas, with the exception of North Carolina, where they have a Democratic governor, but everyone else is Republican, is that the governors and the state legislatures are saying, you know what? We are going to redraw the maps, and we have these majority minority districts. We are going to carve them up and make them Republican. Florida was talking about doing this before the LA decision, and Governor DeSantis called a special session. The Florida legislators were only kind of lukewarm to it, going, well, in order to create more Republican districts out of the Democratic districts that are here, it means they're going to have to weaken the Republican districts. In other words, put more Republicans in the Democratic districts, making the original districts weaker. And they're thinking about, with the unpopularity of the president and the president's policies, will we really be able to win? So my whole point on this slide is I want you to see the power of the Black vote in the South. Now, Virginia, we have 15.9%, or roughly 16% of the voters in Virginia are Black. When we look at Georgia, 34% now of the registered voters are Black, 2.3 million, almost 2.4 million. In North Carolina, 21% of the registered voters are Black, 1.5 million. And then when we look at Alabama, 942,000 of the voters are Black, or 26%. Now in Texas, only 8% of the voters are Black. But if we add in the Hispanic voters, that number tips Texas to nearly 47% voters of color. So we are looking at a lot of power in the Black vote in the South. Next slide. So this is what we're looking at. In Georgia, the Georgia House has 180 seats. And right now, there are 80 Democrats and there are 100 Republicans. If we were to win 12 House seats in Georgia, that would flip control of the Georgia House, 92 to 88. Now, the Georgia Senate, there's 56 members. Right now, 21 are Dems, 35 are Republicans. Senate seats are bigger. They're nearly twice as big as a House seat. So we thought if we can get 6 more seats, that would make it 27-29. And so we aren't really sure if the Republicans would be quite as rambunctious as they are now. If we actually flipped 7 seats, we would literally be looking at a 28-28 tie. Now, 12 seats, In 2017, Virginia won 14 seats in one election cycle and lost seat 15 by one vote. So we are very strongly looking at, if Georgia can take her house, Georgia can reverse LA. Next slide. Or make it moot. Now, North Carolina, we're looking at the same thing. If North Carolina, right now, there are 49 Dems, 71 Republicans for 120 seats in the North Carolina House. Our board member is probably going to win a seat in November. His seat would not be a flip. We just got a very bad person out of that who was confused as to who and what she was. So with 10 seats, North Carolina would be 59-61. If we got 12 seats, it would flip. So they're doing an exercise in North Carolina right now. They're listing all 120 seats. They're listing all the candidates. And then we're going to go down and we're going to figure out what is the racial makeup of every one of these districts. And then we're going to look at them and say, do we have any district where the registered voters are 20% of color? And is that a red district or a blue district? If it's a red district, we're going, ooh, pick up possibility. Next slide. And our final slide is the Texas legislature. So we've got 150 seats in the House. Now, if Texas picked up 12 seats in their House, they would still be down to, they'd be 74-76. But if Texas were able to pick up 4 Senate seats, they would flip their Senate 16-14. So we're looking at taking the anger of the voters that are in these states. And I was on the Black Voters Matter call, and boy, people are angry and they are organized. And we turn this into electoral power. LA would basically be rendered moot. So that's why I am excited about the 2026 election, the sheer power of the Black vote. Next slide. Now, we're going to start helping Georgia out. Next slide, please. We're putting up phone banks. The Georgia primary is May 19th. So we're going to have phone banks up definitely by this weekend. They're going to be the old style PDI phone banks. So if you've used those, you'll be able to go and start making calls. And we will be calling Black voters. And we will be letting those voters know about Calais and them trying to steal their vote and why this election is incredibly important. There are judges on the ballot in Georgia. So this Public Service Commission, they always manage to have that. This is a huge race. All right, those are my slides. Now you know why I am not down in the dumps and moaning and groaning and whining. I have a plan. I have a fight back plan. And if we fight back, now when we're fighting back, there is no love at the center. We are just fighting back to fight back because we are going to take back what was stolen from us. I think we can win. And once we begin flipping those three big states, Alabama is not going to want to be left out of the mix, nor is Florida. And they're going to be able to say, well, if they did it, then we are going to do it as well. There is a reason why Virginia looks the way she does. And that is in 2017, we were 15 seats down in the Virginia House. And one of my board members got really mad and she called me and she was just really, really angry. And I said, I have the Virginia voter file, and the rest was history.